Yo, 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 what's up? What's up, YouTubers? What are we doing? We have got a problem with our passenger window. Besides the obvious tint issue, the bushings are worn out in the motor, so it doesn't want to stay up, and it doesn't really want to go up. So we're going to have to pull the motor and put new bushings in it. We have some, and the reason we're doing that is because we're going to the dyno. We're taking the SilverCar. I know that may not be a popular choice among people. They'd rather see the LTD go, not running. They'd rather see maybe Super Secret go, maybe the van. But we need to take this car, and it's for a scientific reason. And we'll explain that. How about right now? Let's explain what we're doing here. We're going to the dyno. You see, my other self is working on the window, trying to get that daggum thing fixed. Kevin's gonna roll over there with us. We gotta put the passenger seat in the car too. But we're going to the dyno. And you may ask, I said, for scientific reasons. Well, here's the reason. We have a set of ported GT40s. Now, this was part of the McNugget deal that we made with David. We got some parts from him for trading the car. We got a B-cam. Hey, I would have traded in the car just for the B-cam. That's how awesome B-cams are. We got these ported GT40s, and we got basically the short block for McNugget. Now technically we don't have the B-cam. He put a B21 or 31 or whatever in that motor, but whatever. So we got these heads, and we got a few other little nitpicky things, and everyone I think is going to be happy. Now, the thing with us is we wanted to go to the dyno, we wanted to run the car with the heads, and then we need some more track data with it really. We've only got not a ton of passes with the 456s. And then we're going to just swap the heads. It's the only thing we're going to do is swap heads. Now, these have got good springs on them. Like I say, David did some port work to them. It is, you can't really honestly see. He basically just did a little bit of intake work, if I'm correct. He did do the exhaust. He did a bunch of work in the exhaust. He did do a bunch of work down around the guide and in the guide area. That's where you pick up most of your flow on these. So they're not radically ported or anything like that, but they have been ported, and this will be a pretty good apples to apples comparison for us to kind of see what and I have faith in David's porting ability. He's not just some guy that's going to get in there and just go crazy hogging things out. He's pretty meticulous about what is going to work and what is not going to work. So he only does what really matters. So we've got faith in his abilities. But what's the combo on the SilverCar? Let's run through that really quick. Starting with the front of the car, it has got a Pro M80R mass air calibrated for 24-pound injectors. It's got a homemade or Lowe's, Home Depot PVC cold air kit. It has got a 75mm throttle body with EGR delete. It has got a GT40 intake that has had the kink-necked main tube cut out. It has a 4-inch tube welded in. How much difference that makes, who knows. It's got a lightly ported lower. It has got a set of out-of-the-box GT40 heads. They were basically junkyard, or I actually got them off eBay years and years ago. And they have a set of springs on them as well. It's got 24-pound injectors. It's got a stock short block. It's got probably 175,000 miles on it. I don't know. It's got a lot. It's got a Crower, however you want to pronounce it. 155-13 cam. It's like 228, 232. At 50, 512, 531 lift on the intake and exhaust. It's got a race crank pulley. It's got an electric fan, no AC, no power steering. It's got a set of like Flowtech, pace setter, blackjack, whatever, 1 5/8 long tubes. It's got about yay much pipe with not a bullet muffler, but it's not the little shorty race bullet. It's an actual 2.5 inch bullet. It's got a T5 with stock clutch. It's got a 456 gear. So, and it's going to be on a 235/75 15 tire, so it's about 28 inches tall. Another thing I'd like to talk about real quick is that we do get, I say we, someone said that I shouldn't say we a lot, but anyway, I get questions, we get questions about Johnny's Dyno. It's a Dynacon or Dynacom Dyno. It works just like any other dyno. The difference is with Johnny is that he doesn't put a crazy amount of load on the rollers. He can adjust it all he wants to where some people are like, oh, it runs, you guys runs through the RPM range really fast. Well, that's how he's got the dyno set up. The numbers, Johnny's dyno is actually pretty stingy compared to other dynos in the area from people that have had their cars dynoed at other dynos. When they come to Johnny's, it's actually stingy. They're actually a little bit down compared to other dynos. So he can increase the load if he wants to really drag out the motors, and he said he doesn't like to do it like that. There's no need to. The other thing is that our cars have a lot of gear in them, so they get through 4th gear pretty quick on the dyno. So whatever. Ultimately, I don't care what they make on the dyno. It's just for fun and more curiosity than actual, oh, hey, I made this much. None of my cars make big power on the dyno. Krusty made pretty good power, but the other ones are all nothing to like, oh God, it makes what it makes. So anyway, that's why we're taking the SilverCar. That is the combo. Let's go ahead and do the whole thing now. What will it make? I feel like a carnival barker when I do that. You guys tell me, what do you think it's going to make? Horsepower, torque, whatever. And we'll show you on the dyno, and then it is what it is. So ultimately, like I say, these are the heads. This is why we're taking it, because we're going to put these heads on. I would give you more of a close-up, but there's just really nothing. There's really nothing to really see. So I guess I could. Well, I don't have my light. Let me see here. Hold on. Let's make this video 80 minutes long. Well, I can show you that. Let me pull you guys over here in just a second. Okay, right there you can see how he's worked the guide on it. There's another one. He's worked the guides down. Let's look at the intake side. We might be able to see a little bit in there. It's hard to see. Sorry, I'm doing a bad job here. Dang it. Can't get a good angle of the intake. He's worked the intake guides also. So you can see he's done a little work in there. Sorry, I know this is going to be horrible. He's worked the intakes a little bit, and like I say, you can see on the exhaust, he's done a little porting on the exhaust side. So it's nothing fancy, but that's what we're going to put on the car. So let's, he may have had them flat milled also, so they combustion chamber may be a cc or two tighter. So that's what we're going to put on the car, and hopefully it'll run a little faster at the track. But we're going to get our dyno numbers first. So let me go back. Let's get back and let's see if I've got the daggum window fixed. See you guys in a little bit. Okay, well there you go. That's the rundown. We're going to be swapping heads. We're going to be putting the ported GT40s on. And we just thought we'd take this car to the dyno, see how it runs. And at some point, we'll get it back up there after we get the heads on. Probably not before we run it at the track. We've made some passes in this car on track, blah, 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 blah. So that is what's going on. This is a kind of a short and sweet video. Like I said in the earlier part of it, you can give your predictions on what you think it's going to make. But until then, I've got to get back to work. You guys have got to go do something much more important than watching this retarded stuff. And that works for both of us, I guess. So, all right, well, thanks for subscribing. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for watching. Until next time on the Substandard Leader and Fox Body videos on the YouTube, lover of POS Mustangs, 4 Eyes Lincolns, vans, See you guys later. I guess we'll call this the blooper reel real quick. I had cut the crash bar out of this car, so I've trimmed open some stuff, and what had happened is that the bolts had came out. I actually had some screws with nuts on the end. I probably should have not used those, but I did that a while back, probably 10 years ago. So I've now put bolts in. Yes, I'm missing one right here. I think we'll be okay, but I may go find one real quick. So now, everything is fine. That was an easier fix than having to put bushings in. All right, now we'll see you guys later.